Hello, good morning. I'm Jyotsna Vahal Tandon with you, and you're watching us live on our official YouTube channel, that is NCRT Official, and on PMeVIDYA channel number 6 to 12 and NCRT PMeVIDYA class 6 to 12. So today we have come up with a special live session which CIET NCRT has scheduled for the next 5 days for integration of virtual labs in teaching and learning. So today is the day 1 of our live session, and today we will talk about virtual labs, policy perspective, need and scope. To explain this topic in detail, we have with us Professor Indu Kumar, Head DICT and TD, CIET NCRT New Delhi, and Dr. Praveen Bobby Binja, Associate Professor, DICT and TD, CIET NCRT New Delhi. I welcome you both in our studio. So all the viewers, if you have any kind of queries in between the live session, in between our today's live session, you can just call us on 8800440559, or you can just drop in your messages in our live chat box as well. So let us begin today's live session with Professor Indu Kumar. So Professor Indu, today we are talking about virtual labs. So what are the thirst areas of NEP 2020 for technology implementation? What will you tell our viewers?
Yes, virtual labs are all about technology integration. Yeah. So there are two chapters in NEP 2020, National Policy of Education 2020, on the thirst area of technology implementation, chapter 23 and chapter 24. Okay. So in these chapters only, all the thirst areas of NEP 2020 have been explained. So let us watch, we can see what are the important thirst areas. So technology, as per NEP 2020, technology can be implemented for teaching, learning and evaluation. That has been said in NEP 2020. Then there are a lot of language barriers also in our country. We know India is a multilingual society where there are more than 1700 languages and dialects which are spoken. But when it comes to technology implementation and availability of material on internet, mostly material are available on in English language. So by technology we need to remove the virtual language barriers also by providing content in multiple languages, especially the languages, 22 languages which are there in the 8th schedule of Indian Constitution. Apart from this, it is also important to enhance educational access, because accessibility is also a challenge in our country. The language barrier is also pertains to accessibility when it comes to providing content in multiple languages. Apart from that, there are a lot of Divyang children in our country. So there are 21 types of disabilities in our country. So education should be accessible for these children also. So that is also has been mentioned in NEP 2020. Then supporting teachers' preparation and professional development. We have a large population of teachers in our country, and these teachers need to be professionally trained as per the advancement in education. Like now NEP 2020 is in place, so we have to train our teacher, professionally develop our teachers in technology implementation as well. So scaling up the professional development of teachers is only possible through the intervention of technology like we are doing now. So any teacher sitting at any place in India can be professionally developed himself or herself on virtual labs. So that is the power of technology, and which is mentioned in NEP 2020. Then increase access to Divyang children. I have already mentioned this, that Divyang children also need to be accessed. We need to have content for these children, and also we need to use assistive technologies to reach out to these children. Then streamlining educational management and administration is also important with the use of technology. So, there should be portals and apps through which we can make it possible to have proper educational management and administration. So, these are some of the important thrust areas, Jyotsna, of NEP 2020.
So, viewers, today we are learning about virtual labs and what are the need and scope of the virtual labs. Today we are learning about that. If you have any kind of queries, you can just call us on 8800440559, or you can just email us your queries on diksha.training@ciet.nic.in. We have our live chat box as well on our YouTube channel. If you are streaming us live right now on YouTube, you can just drop in your messages in there also. So, Dr. Indu, now I would like to ask you, what are the recommendation of NEP 2020 for virtual labs, and are there any kind of advantages also?
Yes, so yeah, that is very important question to know for our viewers. So, there are a lot of recommendations made in NEP 2020, and it also talks about virtual lab. So, the virtual labs are important as stated in NEP 20 for access to quality practicals and hands-on experiments based learning experience to each students. Because we know that in a lot of schools in India, there is the labs are not available or functional. So, in the given scenario, virtual labs can be made accessible for children very easily to have hands-on experiment based learning experiences, and students won't miss out anything as far as experiments are concerned. Also, there is no provision of labs for primary school children, although there are a lot of things which need to be done through hands-on. So, such virtual labs from 6th onwards can be made available for children also, so to have such experiences. So, we are not saying that there is we can do away with physical laboratories. So, physical labs are very important. So, that experience also need to be done, but wherever there is no availability of physical labs, we can compensate them through virtual labs. Apart from this, physical labs doesn't provide us an opportunity to practice the experiments. So, the experiments are available during school hours only. After that, the labs are not accessible, but virtual labs are on our palm top or a laptop. We can have virtual labs, access to virtual lab anytime, anywhere. So, that ways virtual lab enhance the actual laboratory experience, and also virtual labs, the e-resources which are available in virtual labs help students in visualizing the concept. So, they can visualize the concept by experimenting, by exploring the virtual labs. So, these are some of the advantages of virtual labs. Then we need to have a digital repository of virtual labs, which can include creation of coursework, learning games, simulations, augmented reality, virtual reality, and this is also mentioned in NEP 2020 that all these things to enhance the learning experience for children need to be made available for children, like games, simulation, augmented reality and virtual reality contents.
Yes.
So,
yeah. So, Professor Indu, right now our live chat box has so many messages, and people are really appreciating our today's live session, and there are messages from all around India right now, and they are really appreciating what you are talking about and how virtual labs can be, more effective. So, if you have any kind of queries, you can just call us on 8800440405 559. You can email us your queries on diksha.training@ciet.nic.in. Today we are talking about virtual labs, and it is a 5-day it will be a 5-day live session, and today is the first day. And we are getting the information about virtual labs policy, perspective, need and scope. Now Dr. Praveen, I would like to come to you, and my question is, on which platforms these virtual labs are available?
Good questions. We have a virtual labs in Diksha platform, and Diksha, this is one nation, one platform. So all the virtual labs, including science and mathematics subjects, available in Diksha platform. You can access this Diksha platform in diksha.gov.in.
Okay, yes. So Professor Indu, would you like to add on any kind of information in that?
Yes, so they are available on Diksha, as rightly mentioned by Dr. Bobby. So this is a platform which is one nation, one digital platform. We have envisaged it that way. So, and it is a federated infrastructure accessible to every state and union territory, so that everybody in the nation can get access to virtual labs, because there are a lot of advantages of virtual labs. So they are available on internet for free. Diksha can be accessed through internet, and virtual labs are available for free. Then they are accessed anytime and anywhere, as has already been mentioned, and they can even be accessible even after the school hours for our children. Then the virtual labs which are available on Diksha, they carry as of now 280 virtual labs, and these virtual labs are for children from grade 6 to grade 12 for science and mathematics. In future we are planning to have them in other subject areas also, but currently they are available for science and mathematics. And virtual lab experiences on Diksha carries theory and procedures, because every experiment which is there is a theory behind every experiment. So they carry a theory and procedures also, and concept based information is there for each experiment. Then there are animations and videos also for visualization of the theory which is mentioned. Then there are simulation, real time experience of experiments. So the simulations are for that. Then there is another component called Viva Voce, where students can self evaluate themselves on what they have learned. And then there is also a provision of feedback, because nothing is absolute. There is always an scope of improvement in these virtual labs. So there is a provision of feedback also by the users of virtual labs.
Okay, so now we have understood. In what ways, Dr. Bobby, these virtual labs helps the learners and teachers? What will you tell our viewers?
So now the point is that virtual lab is now available in our Diksha platform, and it can be accessible from any time, anywhere and any device. But how this virtual lab is going to help our learners as well as teachers. So virtual labs help learners in the following ways. It helps perform experiment multiple times without consuming chemicals. Suppose doing any biological experiment and the chemistry experiment, the wastage of chemicals or the wastage of any other resources or materials can be reduced by using these virtual labs. Teachers as well as the students, while performing activities in the lab, that can be done in a very smooth and very in an economic way. The next is this revised theoretical concept. So before going to a lab, teachers and students need to make a general understanding about the theoretical perspective and the common understanding of any experiments. So before going to the lab, they will practice this one. Even after that experiment or lab activities, they can revise all this theoretical concept, that how far this theoretical concept practiced practically. The next is the obtained results of time consuming experiments. Normally we see that observation and recording of activities in the lab take lots of time, and this virtual lab help for teachers and learners to record the result in a limited time and can be interpreted in a very meaningful way. And the last part is the analysis of the result help us to improving logical thinking, and we can say a kind of science process skill. So, after analyzing the data, it is the need to interpret the whatever the readings came. So, this virtual lab extend the interpretation and visualization and presentation of the readings, and somehow it is improved the logical thinking of the students as well as the teachers.
Yes. So, this is now how now we have understood that how these virtual labs can, you know, help the learners and teachers. And if you're watching us live right now, you can just send in your messages in our live chat box. And thank you so much that you all are appreciating our today's live session and you're liking it. But if you have any kind of queries, you can just call us on 8800440559. You can email us your queries on diksha.training@ciet.nic.in, and you can drop in your messages in our live chat box as well. Now, Professor Indu, I would like to ask you, there are terms like, you know, augmented virtual reality. So, what do we understand by this?
Okay, before that I would also like to mention how virtual labs are beneficial for teachers. Dr. Bobby has already mentioned how virtual labs are important for students, beneficial for students. Virtual labs are beneficial for teachers as well, because they can design lesson plans integrating virtual labs, and later on teachers can take the students to physical labs for the consolidation of learning that they had in a virtual environment. And it can be reversed also. They can first go to the physical labs and then they can integrate the virtual labs with the lesson and have practice. Later she can also ask the students to practice whatever experiments they have learned. Then she can also encourage the demonstration skill and integrate demonstration skills in her classroom by integrating virtual labs. So, experimental skills and demonstration skills can be enhanced of the learners if we are using the virtual labs. Then you have asked that there are terms like augmented reality, virtual reality, and there is always a reality which we see around us. So, I would like to mention this or explain this with the help of these three pictures which are projected on screen. The first picture, where the caption is given reality, is the picture of a hilly area which if we live in such region we see around us in actual form. So, this is the reality, whatever we see around us. And in the next picture you can see the example of augmented reality. There is a textbook given and there is a diagram of heart there, and there is a 3D visualization of that diagram. So, there are such technologies where we can augment the reality in the textbooks. If we scan these specially designed diagrams or images through a specially designed scanner app, mobile scanner app. So, we can just have the 3D visualization of the concepts which need 3D visualization to be understood better, because we cannot actually see the heart, we cannot actually see how respiration happen, how digestion happen. But by augmenting reality into the physical book, it is also known as physical, a combination of physical and digital, using which we can give a 3D visualization of abstract things. Then there is a next picture called virtual reality. So, virtual reality is something which is near to reality, where the user is not out of the environment, but it appears as if the learner is also in the environment where the 3D visualization is happening. So, entire environment is made virtually available to learner to have a better learning experience. So, we can also see the difference in these two slides about augmented reality and virtual reality. So, AR or augmented reality refers to the real time integration of digital information into a user's environment. So, it is a real time integration which gives a near to real experience of the concept in question. Then AR technology overlays content into the real world, enriching a user's perception of reality rather than replacing it. So, it gives a perception of reality. Then virtual reality is a simulated experience created by computer technology that immerses users in an interactive 3-dimensional environment. So, environment is also 3-dimensional, where the user immerses into the environment and also the concept in question, and it also allows user to experience and interact with the virtual world as if they were physically present. So, like we interact with the physical world, we can also interact with the environment in the virtual world as well, which gives a learner an immersive learning experience. So, that is about augmented and virtual reality, as you have asked.
So, in the end, would you like to give any kind of a piece of information which has left in our today's live session?
So, there are pedagogical benefits of these augmented reality and virtual reality as well, because it all about giving real near to real experiences to the learner. So, it gives an environment of increased engagement, then improved retention, because retention, when we are interacting with the environment, immersing with the concept in question. So, it improves a learner's retention as well. Then it gives a personalized learning experience, because learner are being engaged and interacting with the environment which is available virtually. And then it also enhances the collaboration between teacher and learners, between learner and learners. So, that ways virtual environment facilitate a collaborative learning and engaging learning, improved retention, and it gives a personalized learning experience. So, that is all.
So, thank you so much for today's session, Professor Indu and Dr. Praveen. You have joined us today, and you really opened our eyes on virtual labs and how they can, beneficial for the teachers and for the students as well. And I really hope that people who are watching us right now will definitely, learn about these workshops and will definitely going to use these in their daily lives. Yes, thank you so much for joining us. And so that's it for our today's live session. So as I told you, as I said earlier in our in the opening of our live session, that today was the day 1 of our live session about integration of virtual labs in teaching and learning. But it is the 5 days. It will be a 5-day live session. So tomorrow we will going to talk about virtual lab as a learning tool for biology. Let me repeat. Tomorrow we will talk about virtual lab as a learning tool for biology. If you would like to, send in your questions in advance, you can just write down our email ID, that is diksha.training@ciet.nic.in, or you can just go to the Diksha portal and you can just browse what we are going to learn in the next few days in this live session. So thank you so much once again for joining us right now. And today we in our live session of teaching learning intervention for inclusive classrooms, we will talk about the subject environmental studies, and the chapter will be chapter 2, a snake charmer's story. And don't forget to join us at 12 p.m., 12 noon. So that's all for today, and we will definitely, tell you the schedule for our whole day. So that's all. I'm just taking your leave. Thank you for joining us.